Can we watch Shadur Sanders against the first team? I am told by sources that it's a grade 2 hamstring injury. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, grade 2 hammies, Chris, 4 to 6 weeks. Kind of takes Kenny Pickett out of the competition for now.
We have eliminated one.
Can I finally see my guy get some reps now?
The Cleveland Browns just made a decision so baffling, so dangerous, it could torch their entire season. Kenny Pickett's body crumpled on that practice field, his hamstring shredded, and in that split second, destiny handed rookie Shadur Sanders a golden ticket. But here's the twisted part. Cleveland slammed the door in his face. No first-team reps, no acknowledgement. Just cold, calculated silence. While Joe Flacco limps through drills and Dillon Gabriel misfires, Sanders is dropping dimes with surgical precision, and the Browns are acting like he's invisible. What are they so scared of? His talent, his bloodline, or the truth that could explode their fragile quarterback lie? Stick around. What you're about to see isn't just a camp battle, it's a cover-up. Smash that like button if you believe Sanders deserves his shot. This story can't be ignored. It happened in a heartbeat. One routine drill, one misstep. Kenny Pickett, Cleveland's projected Week 1 starter, went down, trainers rushing to help. Official diagnosis: grade 2 hamstring strain. While not season-ending, the recovery timeline, 4 to 6 weeks, creates critical uncertainty for a franchise seeking QB stability since Baker Mayfield's departure. In this vacuum, attention naturally shifted to fifth-round rookie Shadur Sanders. The opportunity seemed tailor-made, yet Cleveland's response stunned observers. No first-team promotion. No increased workload. Just business as usual, as if a starting QB's absence required no adjustment. Day 5 of camp became Sanders' statement game. Under intense pressure, he delivered a flawless 9-4-9 performance with 2 touchdowns. Not simple throws, precise lasers into tight coverage and perfectly placed deep balls that left defenders frustrated. Notably, no other Browns QB recorded a touchdown that day. Yet when reps were reassigned, Sanders remained with depth players. Coaches made no depth chart adjustments despite the performance. Football purists question the logic. When excellence doesn't alter opportunity, what benchmarks matter?
I think that Shedeur would look infinitely better than Dillon Gabriel with the first unit if he got the option.
I agree. I want to say this as well. I'm looking forward to, you asked me how much I'm looking forward to this Brown season, 4 practices in to start the show, and I still am looking forward to it. A big thing that I'm looking forward to.
So who's taking those valuable first-team snaps? Veteran Joe Flacco, age 39, whose recent seasons show declining mobility, and Dillon Gabriel, a career backup with inconsistent tape. Both split top reps despite Sanders' camp dominance. Insider reports suggest coaches cite experience and system familiarity as reasons. But analysts counter. At what point does potential outweigh tenure? Flacco's arm strength shows wear, while Gabriel's ceiling appears limited. Sanders' athletic upside presents the most dynamic option, creating legitimate football debates beyond locker room politics. Behind the scenes, interesting developments emerge. Multiple reports confirm key offensive starters, including Pro Bowl receivers, have privately advocated for Sanders to get meaningful reps. Their rationale centers purely on performance. Sanders demonstrates command during drills and makes plays others don't. Defensive players anonymously admit his playmaking challenges them daily. This isn't about favoritism. Veterans recognize Sanders' skills could elevate the entire offense. When established players endorse a rookie's readiness, organizations typically notice.
This point there, come preseason, I need to see Shadur Sanders start a game, at least one. And if he balls out, the Browns are not going to be able to continue to hide and say that he's developing and that he's a project and all of these labels that we've heard slapped on to Shadur Sanders as to why he hasn't taken snaps with the ones yet. Like, let Shedeur get out there in a preseason game against a jersey that's not Browns players and ball out. Yeah. The noise is going to get loud, both locally and nationally, and they're not going to be able to ignore that, in my opinion.
And I got to be honest with you, I do feel like that's a factor.
We must address the unique context. Shadur Sanders is the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, a high-profile figure in football media. Some league observers speculate this connection influences Cleveland's cautious approach. The concern? Intensified media scrutiny on every decision. While no evidence suggests organizational bias, the reality remains. Starting Sanders invites amplified attention. The Browns might prefer developing him away from immediate pressure, a common strategy with high-potential rookies. Ultimately, this becomes a test of balancing player development with team optics. Cleveland's front office might have hoped this situation would fade quietly into background noise. They were mistaken. What began as training camp curiosity has erupted into a national conversation, with analysts across major sports networks dedicating significant airtime to dissecting the Browns' quarterback decision-making. The tone isn't merely critical, it's genuinely perplexed. When side-by-side practice statistics circulate showing Sanders completing 89% of competitive throws compared to Flacco's 68% and Gabriel's 63%, the numbers tell a story that defies conventional football logic. These aren't marginal differences. They're performance gaps that would typically trigger immediate depth chart adjustments on any NFL team.
It was a higher draft pick?
Yes.
The Browns are, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I am walking a line with this team you don't want to know. You don't want me. I am this close to removing myself from the entire conference.
The turning point came when a video montage from day 11 of camp went viral. In one sequence, Sanders escapes pressure with a subtle sidestep before launching a 45-yard touchdown between two defenders, a throw requiring arm strength, anticipation, and poise. The very next clip shows Flacco missing an open receiver on a basic out route, followed by Gabriel holding the ball too long and taking a coverage sack. This visual evidence sparked thousands of comments debating Cleveland's strategy, with one recurring theme. Why invest a draft pick in talent if you won't develop it? Former players have entered the conversation with nuanced perspectives. A retired Pro Bowl quarterback noted on air, "When you see a young player consistently outperform veterans in competitive periods, it raises legitimate questions about evaluation criteria. Is it about practice performance, system fit, or factors beyond the field?" His commentary carefully avoided direct accusations, but highlighted the growing disconnect between Sanders' production and his opportunities. Fan engagement has reached unprecedented levels. During open practices, audible chants of "let him play" emerge whenever Sanders takes reps. Social media hashtags like #SandersSCN and #BrownsQBControversy have generated over 800,000 collective impressions in the past week alone. Interestingly, this groundswell isn't just from Cleveland supporters. Fans of rival teams now jokingly offer draft picks for Sanders via meme campaigns, highlighting how broadly this narrative has resonated. Behind the scenes, the organization faces mounting operational challenges. Media credentials for practice have increased 40% since Pickett's injury, with reporters specifically requesting Sanders' rep counts and target distribution. Team public relations staff now allocate daily briefing time solely to quarterback questions, a resource drain rarely seen during training camp. More tellingly, opposing scouts attending practices have been observed intently charting Sanders' throws, suggesting other franchises see untapped value Cleveland might be overlooking. The organization's public messaging remains carefully controlled. When pressed, coaches emphasize long-term development and avoiding rushed decisions. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey recently stated, "Every player has their own trajectory. Our focus is putting guys in positions to succeed long-term, not just react to daily highlights." While philosophically sound, this stance feels increasingly disconnected from the observable reality of Sanders outperforming veteran options in nearly every measurable category. Complicating matters are intangible elements that stats can't capture. Teammates report Sanders demonstrates advanced defensive recognition for a rookie, often identifying blitzes and coverage rotations before the snap. His work ethic has become legendary within the facility, arriving 2 hours before mandatory meetings to review film and staying late to refine footwork with practice squad receivers. This relentless approach has earned respect that transcends traditional rookie hierarchies. The financial dimension also looms large. Joe Flacco's one-year contract carries minimal dead cap implications if released, while Gabriel's deal is essentially expendable. Conversely, Sanders represents a potential franchise quarterback on a cost-controlled rookie contract, precisely the asset modern NFL teams covet. As one salary cap analyst observed, the Browns aren't just evaluating quarterbacks. They're weighing short-term comfort against a potential decade-long solution at the game's most valuable position. Perhaps most fascinating is the psychological ripple effect. Sources indicate several young offensive players now seek Sanders during downtime to discuss route adjustments and defensive tendencies, a subtle but significant show of confidence typically reserved for established starters. This organic leadership emergence contrasts sharply with his official third-string status, creating a fascinating locker room dynamic where respect isn't aligning with organizational hierarchy. As preseason games approach, the stakes escalate exponentially. League insiders confirm Cleveland faces intense pressure from ownership to resolve the quarterback situation before Week 1. If Sanders continues excelling in practice, but remains buried on the depth chart, the organization risks appearing indifferent to performance-based competition, a perception that could damage credibility with players and fans alike. The ultimate irony, Cleveland's attempt to avoid controversy by limiting Sanders' exposure has created exponentially more scrutiny. Every throw is now filmed by multiple angles. Every coach's comment is dissected for hidden meaning. The very spotlight they hope to avoid now burns hotter precisely because of their unconventional handling of a talented rookie. In seeking control, they've created the NFL's most compelling training camp narrative, one where the only resolution is either embracing the obvious or defending the inexplicable. Shadur Sanders' reaction to Cleveland's ongoing reluctance reveals a maturity beyond his years. While outsiders anticipated frustration or public discontent, the rookie's response has been a masterclass in quiet determination. His daily routine now borders on legendary within the facility. 5:15 a.m. arrivals to dissect film alone in the quarterback room, followed by on-field work with backup receivers at dawn's first light, long before most veterans even park their cars. These aren't casual warm-ups. They're intensive sessions focused on timing with depth chart players like rookie tight end Darnell Washington and practice squad receiver David Bell. Sanders recognizes that chemistry can't wait for coach-approved reps. The physical transformation hasn't gone unnoticed. Strength coaches confirm Sanders added 8 pounds of lean muscle since draft night, specifically to withstand NFL hits. His footwork drills, conducted with resistance bands while position coaches observe from afar, show measurable improvement in pocket navigation. Even defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz acknowledged Sanders' progression unprompted. He's diagnosing coverages pre-snap that typically confuse first-year players. These organic endorsements make traditional "he's not ready" arguments increasingly difficult to justify. What's fascinating is how Sanders leverages his limited opportunities. During 11-on-11 drills with third-string units, he treats every snap like a fourth-quarter drive. When protection breaks down, he improvises throws on the move rather than taking easy checkdowns. After one such rep where he hit a crossing route while backpedaling from pressure, All-Pro guard Joel Bitonio turned to a teammate and simply nodded, the universal sign of respect. These moments accumulate, creating undeniable locker room equity that transcends play-calling hierarchies. The organizational tension now manifests in subtle ways. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has personally joined Sanders' early morning film sessions twice this week, a highly unusual involvement for a head coach with a third-string QB. Meanwhile, veteran leaders like Myles Garrett have initiated weight room conversations with Sanders about leadership pressures. He asks the right questions, Garrett noted vaguely when pressed by media. These interactions suggest Sanders' approach is forcing a reevaluation from those who matter most. Financially, the clock ticks louder each day, with Flacco's $3.2 million contract becoming fully guaranteed if he's on the Week 1 roster. Cleveland faces a tangible deadline. Sanders' rookie deal, for years at under $1 million annually, represents extraordinary value if he delivers even competent quarterback play. Every practice he dominates without promotion increases future contract leverage while diminishing Flacco's on-field justification. The ultimate brilliance of Sanders' silence? It transfers all pressure to the decision-makers. If he succeeds when finally unleashed, the narrative becomes, why didn't this happen sooner? If he struggles, critics will blame delayed development. Either scenario makes the Browns' current hesitation look questionable. Sanders' patience isn't passive. It's a strategic weapon forged through daily excellence while others debate his worth. So where does this end? Preseason. If Sanders starts just one game and balls out, like he does daily in practice, the Browns' excuses evaporate. The noise will be deafening. Local, national, unignorable. And if they still hold him back, it's sabotage. Cleveland's playing with fire. Talent this bright can't be hidden. Either they unleash Shadur Sanders, or watch him become a superstar elsewhere. The choice is theirs. But time's running out. Drop a comment. Should the Browns start Sanders? Subscribe right now. We're tracking this scandal daily.